Hey everyone, welcome to another video. We're finally back. I know I haven't uploaded in a while, but here we go. Remember to hit that subscribe button because today I want to talk about the movie that everyone is super excited for, Barbie, the new film from Greta Gerwig. We've just seen a new trailer and it continues to draw a lot of questions, and I really want to ask, is this going to be an Oscar contender? So with that, let's get into it. So, general rule of thumb, I am really excited for this movie. It's one of my most anticipated for the year. I think it's going to be a really fun satire that just looks really funny and just focuses on having a good time and being kind of a celebration of Barbie and Ken and the kind of culture that comes with that. You have an excellent looking cast. I mean, everyone here looks perfect for their roles. Margot Robbie as Barbie, that's going to be excellent. Ryan Gosling as Ken, he looks hilarious. As well as Simu Liu, who also looks great as Ken. And then you have Greta Gerwig directing, who has done both Lady Bird and Little Women. For me personally, while I do enjoy a lot of parts to Lady Bird, it wasn't my favorite movie in the world. And then Little Women I thought was fantastic. Both were heavy hitters at the Oscars, both got nominated for multiple categories. So there is that question of whether Barbie is going to become an Oscar contender, because you also have Noah Baumbach writing this film, the writer of Marriage Story, which was another Oscar player. However, his last film, White Noise, didn't do anything in that regard. Do I think that a lot of people will enjoy it and that it will get 5 out of 5s or 10 out of 10s from a bunch of critics and audiences? For sure. I think so many people are going to really enjoy this movie. And those would be the people who are really involved with Letterboxd and film Twitter. They know what Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach bring to the table and kind of understand what this movie is going to be. Now, it's hard to 100% know the directions that it's going to go into. It's going to do something a bit weird and quirky, but it's not going to be a film for children, I believe. And I think that's going to be the thing that holds it back. I think when the Rotten Tomatoes score comes out, I reckon it will be in maybe the 60s, because you're going to have a lot of people go to the theater expecting a full-on Barbie movie, but it's not going to be exactly like they're expecting. It's not going to be Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses or something, you know? It's going to be for an adult audience. So I think a lot of moms and dads are going to take their daughters and sons to this movie and get the completely opposite movie to what they were hoping for. So there's going to be a lot of disappointment from many audience members, and that's going to bring its scores down. I think the movie's going to make a ton at the box office because of all the excitement that it's generated. But in terms of a critical reception, it's going to be people absolutely loving this movie and really connecting with it. It's going to be the biggest movie on TikTok when it comes out. I mean, it already kind of is. And then you're going to have the other half who absolutely despise this movie and want nothing to do with it. I say all this when talking about Oscars because they do take all of that stuff into account. They look at the critical reception, the box office numbers. They have affected films from getting nominated in the past. So I think that while it does have a shot of getting in there because of the cast, the director, the writer, they're all great and they all have been nominated in the past and even won in the past. But because this movie is not a period piece like Little Women or a really fun coming of age story like Lady Bird or an intense kind of drama like Marriage Story, I don't see it. The Oscars don't like quirky. They really are against Wes Anderson in a lot of cases. They just recently went for an A24 movie with Everything Everywhere All at Once, but that wasn't the case before that movie. Moonlight was the other A24 movie that got Best Picture win, but that's a little bit more in line with what they like. It's not quirky or going in really weird directions with humor that might put a lot of people off. Barbie is going to go down that route, And because of that, Oscar voters are going to get turned off too, I think. I think this has a really good shot at a couple of categories, like the costume design. The production design looks excellent. And I mean, on its best day, sure, it could get actor, actress, screenplay, picture. But that's not going to be the case. They're going to go with movies like, Killers of the Flower Moon over something like Barbie. Because I think Oscar voters are going to have a very similar reception going into the movie. They're going to be expecting something completely different to what they're going to receive. As I said, the Letterboxd and film Twitter crowd are really going to love this thing. But that only covers a small space in the whole movie landscape. There's the casual audience member who has a very strong voice. You also have, older people, and that takes up a lot of the Oscars voting body. I mean, that's why we get a lot of the same kind of movies get nominated a lot of the time, and it was really refreshing that Everything Everywhere All at Once would win. But people were still having doubts that it would go that far because it is more for someone my age than someone in their 60s or 70s. Not saying that someone at that age could enjoy that movie. I mean, you also have the kids as well. I'm sure Oscar voters are going to take their kids to this movie thinking that they're going to go see a Barbie movie and get something that's more made for adults. I mean, you're already seeing a lot of these adult jokes thrown in there.
Both of us off. Nobody's going to beach anyone off.
I think it's hilarious, but, a kid, it's not really the right kind of jokes for a child, and that's once again going to put off a lot of parents. So overall, do I think that this is going to get nominated for a bunch of Oscars? Not really. It's too fun, too quirky, too unique for the Oscars, I think. And yes, once again, Everything Everywhere All at Once swept, but that was a one-time thing. I don't know if they're going to keep going down that route. I really don't. And Everything Everywhere All at Once took over the world, and before it won awards, everyone was praising it. All the overrated talk came after it won Best Picture, which just kind of comes with the territory of winning that award. If Barbie won Best Picture, people are going to say the same thing. But I don't really think at this stage it's going to get nominated for a whole lot. But what do I know? The movie has not come out yet. It could take over the world. I want it to. I'm really excited for this movie. I want the best for it. I really want to have a great experience in the theater. And it's going to be a pretty fun day with it coming out the same day as Oppenheimer. Two very different movies, but both excellent in very different ways. And I'm so excited to see that. Anyway, tell me in the comments below what you think of this Barbie movie. Are you really excited? Are you a little bit more hesitant? What do you think it's going to be? Let me know in the comments below. I know I was originally going to do some very early Oscar predictions, but I think I'm going to put that off till maybe after the Cannes Film Festival once we know a little bit more about these movies. Because, yeah, I know a few of them. I know about a few of them, like Killers of the Flower Moon, I guess Asteroid City, The Color Purple, things like that. But I want a little bit more information before I can really passionately talk about those movies to you. But I do have some fun content coming out very soon, so remember to hit that subscribe button and like the video also, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.